to the next point. We should ensure that whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, listeners. You are welcome to another segment of our geography class. My name is Mr. Marcus Adamu. Today, we are looking at the concluding part of our topic on soil, that is soil part 3. And in this concluding part of our topic on soil, we are going to look at soil profile, the importance of soil profile, the importance of soil itself. We'll look at some human activities that destroy our soil, and also look at how can this soil be conserved for effective use. Now, let's start by looking at soil profile. What is soil profile? Soil profile simply means is the vertical section through the soil from the surface down to the bedrock or parent rock, showing series of horizontal layers. Once again, soil profile means the vertical section through the soil from the surface to the bedrock or parent rock, showing series of horizontal layers. These horizontal layers, we call them horizons. We call them what? Horizons. And a typical soil profile has 3 layers or horizons, which are, we have what we call horizon A, we have horizon B, and we have horizon C. The diagram on the board is showing these various layers. From O horizon to A horizon, the 2 of them together, we call them the topsoil. The O horizon is mostly a zone of humus or organic matter. Then horizon B is also known as the subsoil. And lastly, horizon C is referred to as the parent material. Sometimes you can also call them the bedrock. Now, let's look at this horizon one after the other. We are starting with horizon A. Horizon A, number 1, it is the topsoil. It is the topsoil. 2, it contains remains of plants and animals undergoing decomposition to form what we call humus. Number 3, it is also known as the elevation zone. It is also known as the elevation zone. 4, it is a zone of maximum biological activities of plants and soil microorganisms. Number 5, it is darker in color than other horizon. It is darker in color than other horizon. Number 6, most plants' roots are anchored there. This area is where we have most of our plants' roots are within this zone. Horizon B. The horizon B is also called the subsoil. It is called the subsoil. It is a zone of accumulation of soil nutrients due to leaching from horizon A. 3, it is also called zone of eluviation. It is also called zone of eluviation. Number 4, humus and other organic matter wash down from horizon A are converted into inorganic compound. 5, it is rich in iron, aluminum, and magnesium. Let's look at the horizon C. The horizon C is called the parent material horizon. Number 2, it contains unweathered rocks. It contains unweathered rocks. 3, it contains materials from which A and B horizons are formed. It contains material from which A and B horizons are formed. 4, it is underlaid by hard, unweathered rocks. It is underlaid by hard, unweathered rocks. What are the importance of this soil profile? 1, it determines the level of fertility of the soil. Example, a thick topsoil represents high level of soil fertility. A thick topsoil represents a high level of soil fertility. In other words, when the topsoil is darker, it shows that the soil itself is, in terms of nutrient, is rich, which can support the growth of plants. Number 2, it helps farmers to know the types of crops to grow. It helps the farmers to know the types of crops to grow. Number 3, it determines the level of root penetration, drainage, and aeration. Number 4, it determines the rate of percolation of water and the level of soil erosion. Now, let's look at generally the importance of soil to man. Soil is very important in the following ways. Soil generally is very important in the following ways. One of them is agriculture. The soil provides the only medium through which agriculture is practiced to provide food for man and animals, which also means without soil, there is nothing like agriculture. And if there is no agriculture, it means there is nothing like food for man consumption. 3, number 2, building. All buildings, any form of building you can think of, are sited and erected on soil through the provision of clay and sand. So any type of building you see around you, it is the end product is what? It's either made of clay or sand. Number 3, soil is important in times of construction. Various forms of constructions like roads, industries, railways, settlement, etc. are done on soil. So without soil, forget about anything called construction. Number 4, Vegetation. All vegetation. When we talk of vegetation, we are referring to plants cover on the soil. And when we talk of plants, they could be either trees or grasses. So all vegetation types form their basis on soil. Without soil, plants cannot get support and nutrients for growth. Number 5, importance of soil, storage of nutrients. Storage of nutrients. Soil provides plants and crops with all the nutrients for their continuous existence. In other words, without these nutrients, it will be difficult for our plants to get the required or the adequate materials needed for their maximum growth. 6, habitats of organisms. Soil provides habitat for most organisms, especially bacteria, termites, earthworms, and rodents. Without soil, these living organisms that I have mentioned will not have where to stay. So soil provides them with habitats. Number 7, soil serves as a reservoir for water and air. Soil serves as a reservoir for water and air. Soil acts as reservoir for air and water needed by some of these living organisms that lives in the soil in order to survive. Number 8, provisions of minerals. Soil is the main source of most of the minerals used by man. Any form of minerals, most of them, in fact 80 to 90% of them are from where? From the soil. Think of any type of minerals. Is it diamond? Is it gold? Is it crude oil? All of these are formed from where? From soil. Number 9, it is a medium for seed growth. It is a medium for seed growth. Soil acts as a medium in which plant seeds grow. So without soil, there is nowhere our plant seed cannot grow in the air. So they grow from where? From the soil. Number 10, they serve as provision of support. Soil generally provides support for growing plants. So they support them in order to grow well. Number 11, soil is a major source of raw material. Soil is a major source of raw material. Soil provides raw materials such as clay, sand, etc. for constructions. So this is very, very important and essential. Now, we've seen the importance of soil. Despite all this importance, there are certain activities carried out by man which have a negative effect on soil. That is, negative effects of man activities on soil. One of them is mining. Mining activities destroy the topsoil. Not only the topsoil, the structure of the soil itself. Number 2, soil pollution. Due to oil spillage and chemical fertilizers pollute the soil by altering the chemical composition of the soil itself. Number 3, loss of groundwater through capillary forces. Loss of groundwater through capillary forces. Number 4, accelerated soil erosion due to deforestation and the removal of vegetation. At any point in time there is deforestation or the removal of vegetation, it speeds the rate of soil erosion, thereby making the soil to be not to give the adequate use it's supposed to. Number 5, exhaustion of soil nutrients through overgrazing and overcropping. The moment our soil is subjected to overgrazing and also overcropping, most of these nutrients are being exhausted, thereby making the soil not to give us what we want. Let's look at methods of conserving the soil. We have seen some of the activities of man that is very negative to soil. How then can we conserve this soil for maximum use? Some of the methods are: 1, planting of cover crops, example legumes, which reduces the impact of raindrops on soil, thereby reducing the rate of soil erosion. Number 2, control grazing. The animals we graze on our soil, we need to control them. If we do not control them, then their continuous grazing can have a serious effect on the soil. 3, gully reclamation. Areas that are subjected to serious gully erosion, they need to be reclaimed. We can do that by either filling such types of gullies or by making proper channel through which water can flow. 4, planting of shelter belt. This do not only reduce erosion, but it also reduces the effects that wind has on the soil. Number 5, adopting good agricultural practices. For example, crop rotation. When our land are subjected to proper and effective crop rotation, they play a very vital role in conserving our soil. Number 6, treating soil with lime, fertilizer, and organic manure. When that is done, it helps in conserving our soil. Number 7, providing good drainage to ensure that the soil is aerated and not waterlogged. So the moment there is a waterlogged on a particular soil, it may not give you the maximum used for this soil. Terracing of slopes. This also helps greatly in conserving our soil. Number 9, practice of contour plugging. Instead of plugging vertically, we need to plug horizontally, especially on hilly areas. Next, bush fallowing, which is also another method through which our soils can be conserved. Number 11, shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation also plays a very important role in conserving our soil. 12, afforestation. All these are various methods through which, when effectively and adequately used, can conserve our soil for maximum use. Now let's look at some farming practices that can lead to soil erosion. When we know them and avoid them, the better for our soil, for maximum use. One of them is overgrazing. Number 2, plowing of land up and down the slopes. 3, shifting cultivation. Number 4, the cutting of forests on hill slopes. The cutting of forests on hill slopes. Number 5, over-cultivation. Over-cultivation. 6, bush burning. Bush burning. 7, cultivation of crops in areas which do not have reliable rainfall may lead to wind erosion. All these different steps, when properly implied, they will help seriously in conserving our soil. My dear students, I'm happy that today we conclude our topic on soil. And today's conclusion, we're able to look at soil profile. We're able to look at the different types of soil horizon. We're also able to look at the importance of soil profile, then the importance of soil itself. And we're also able to look at certain human practices that can destroy our soil and how we can conserve this soil. As you continue to read and learn more, it will help us to have a lot of knowledge on how our soils need to be conserved for effective use. Finally, before I go, I would like to leave you with this assignment. And I will encourage you to answer the assignment, and also let me also get the feedback through the WhatsApp number that we have. And the assignment is this. Question 1A. With the aid of a well-labeled diagram, describe a typical soil profile. B. Highlight any 5 importance of soil to man. I repeat the question again. With the aid of a well-labeled diagram, describe a typical soil profile. B. Highlight any 5 importance of soil to man. Question number 2. What is a soil profile? What is soil profile? 2B. Highlight any 4 negative effects of man activities on soil. C. Describe any 2 methods of conserving soil. I repeat question 2 again. What is soil profile? B. Highlight any 4 negative effects of man activities on soil. C. Describe any 2 methods of conserving soil. Finally, I remain your geography teacher, Mr. Marcus Adamu. You can contact me through this WhatsApp number, 080-3313-9758. I repeat again, 080-3313-9758. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you very much. till we meet in our next class.